I'm Craig Beaumont-Flynn. Welcome to Beyond the Design, a show that gives you a peek behind the curtain of the design industry and shares the stories of those that are the driving force behind it. Well, good afternoon and welcome to Beyond the Design. Today we have Mike and Bryan from Yates Interior Design. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
How's it going?
Glad to be here.
Good. Fantastic. Well, we'll just jump right into it, and I'm going to ask you to tell us your story of how you got started in the interior design sector and starting your firm.
So we kind of have a separate story, and then we have one together. But I've always been in the design industry. I started off as a landscape architect, or worked for a landscape architect, went to school for that, and then practiced at a firm for quite a while, and then decided I loved the idea and I loved the projects that we were working on, where it was kind of that blurred line between what is landscape and what is interiors. And so I ended up going and getting a master's in interior design at Pratt in New York. And then that kind of jumped my interior design career after that, working for Jabu Puschelberg in Manhattan. And then, Mike and I met and, decided what was our next steps going to be. And that's kind of when we started to talk about the idea of opening up our own interior design firm. But Mike's story is, you can share.
So my background is with dance production. I was a lighting supervisor and company manager for dance companies, in charge of everything from casting to flights, hotels, cars, lighting, cues, all the above. So I bring more of the organization and project management side of things.
So a little bit of left brain and right brain.
Exactly. Very church and state.
Yeah.
I pay Uncle Sam, client communication, that kind of ideas, and then he's all design. So I like to say I try to do everything so that he can focus on great design.
Well, how it kind of started was, we got engaged in New York and started talking about, okay, are we going to start looking to purchase a apartment in the city, or, what kind of our next steps were. And Mike traveled 35 weeks out of the year, and then I worked all the time as well. And I think we just kind of had one frustrating night, and Mike said, well, why don't we take the money that we've been saving for an apartment, and why don't we just inject that into starting our own company? And so it kind of sparked an idea of, something that I've always wanted, and has always been a goal of mine. And so, we took the next year to really kind of look at, okay, well, what does that look like? Where do we want to go? Doing a bunch of research on the trajectory of where we wanted to open up a office. We knew that we were ready to leave the city and start an adventure somewhere else. And I'm originally from Texas, South Texas. But the reason that we moved to Dallas was not necessarily the reason that my roots were from Texas. It really was all derived from research and understanding, okay, what are we looking for? How do we think we can blend into the existing market? Do we see the market thriving, the tax benefits, the community, just really, looking at all of the pros and cons to location that we wanted to be. And everything really kind of pointed to Dallas. We've been here now 7 years. Companies started 7 years ago as well. And it's been a blessing.
Yeah. We did everything you're not supposed to. We got married, quit our jobs, moved across the country, and started a business not having a single client.
Yeah, we had no client. We had no client. So we started from scratch and really kind of worked our own name and honed that in.
So I won't ask you, do you take challenges and risk? Obviously, a big yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bryan is very much a jump in. Let's just jump in and do it.
Yeah.
He's kind of a fire sign in the sense of, like 1 star rainbow. Wait, what's over there? And then I'm very much a boulder, like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. So It's a good team. It's a great team. He keeps us going and flowing, and I'm like just making sure that our foundation is always there.
Yeah, my parents always call me a jumper, but at the end of the day, we had such good relationships with the companies that we worked with or worked for, and they really kind of embraced and said, "Hey, you're always welcome back if you ever want to come back," and so that was just really important to us. We left on really great terms, and we had really great support, and we had family that really supported us. And so we really didn't have anything to lose. At the end of the day, we could move back to New York and start working for either them or somewhere else. So,
yeah.
So, Mr. Jumper, how did you go about getting your first client?
Well, I think that was kind of a challenging point. Especially coming from a really high-end hospitality and luxury residential sector. We really were kind of humbled and started basically from ground zero. And one thing that we really did that I think that was smart for us was Mike got into real estate. And we knew that was kind of a intermediate.
It took me like 2 weeks to get my license, and I jumped in and I got connected with a real estate agent who sold like 90 million a year. And so we jumped on her team. And from there, we became basically the design like suggestions, like, here, this is what you should do. And then, by the way, if you let us do it, you'll pay this much, and we'll just take all your furniture and rearrange it for you for a minimal cost. And, these homes in Dallas that she was selling were between $1 to $3 million. And so we would just go in, a lot of brute force and just heavy lifting, and just move rugs from one room to the next. And just with Bryan's like talent, just kind of like adjust things for selling, and all of their properties would sell that weekend. And so from there we would create that relationship. And then when they purchased or built their home a year or two later, they would, hopefully call us, and they did.
And they did, yeah. And then that kind of just spiraled into connections with architects and builders, and, and then starting to get our own name out there where people reach out just for us. So it really was kind of from the ground up relationship building, and just getting to know people and really getting active in the community and trying to give back as much as possible, but also attend events that basically gave some presence to the community of who we are and what we can do.
So are you purely residential sector, or do you do a cross between other sectors?
We would love to get to do a cross, but at the moment we're more into the residential sector.
So is there a Yates? Is there a Yates interior design aesthetic?
For us, I mean, Yates Desygn is really all about, kind of extracting our clients' design language and really catering to their lifestyle. And, we kind of always coin that we're more lifestyle designers. We're here to not only, work on interiors, but we'll work on architecture, we'll work on landscape. We do focus more on the interior design aspect of it, but for us, it really is, how can we pull our clients' design language out and be a tool for them, and show them that, design can not only be aesthetically pleasing, but it can be really functional at the same time.
What are some of the key factors you consider when getting a new client and looking at space?
Well, for us, it really is, do we connect with the client? We really do go in and interview our clients just as much as they interview us. We're with our clients anywhere from a year to 3. We have one right now that's been 5. And so it really is, how do we mesh? How do we relate to each other? Are we a good tool for them in what they're wanting to get? And so there's a lot of evaluation that we kind of do as well. And we find that by doing that, it gives us really successful projects, and projects where our homeowners become our friends at the end of the day. And to me, that's kind of a successful project.
Yeah.
So what is your process? And once you do get that project and you're moving forward, what is your design process?
So, I mean, we start with really kind of we send out a questionnaire to our clients. We really want them to kind of fill that out to the best of their ability. We also ask for them to pull any kind of inspiration that they might have that really can help to create that almost design universal language where we can kind of evaluate that, look at that, really hone in on what they're trying to achieve or what they're wanting to achieve. And from there, we're able to really kind of evaluate and then dissect and then create our own methodology behind that. We're very process driven as a design firm, and we've worked really hard this past year to really understand what our client journey map is and how we can take a client from start to finish and be successful and almost be able to get ahead of questions that they might ask.
So during the 7-year process, what would you two tell yourselves 7 years ago that you've learned today?
To be patient. I'm not a patient person. I don't like to say instant gratification, but we work really hard, and I sometimes have a hard time waiting.
I would say keep going. You're doing everything pretty much okay, pretty much right. I would say.
I also probably would say, join, mastermind classes or community where you're getting involved with other designers and building that relationship. Because I feel like, at least in the interior design world, there's kind of a standoff a little bit, right? But I feel like, we've become really good friends with a lot of designers in our industry throughout the nation that really have kind of been almost a rising tide aspect to it, that we share information and we try to get better, where it's almost an industry standard of how we're wanting to elevate things. And I feel like I wish I would have done that earlier in our start to opening our company. Because we did a lot of things that were trial and error. And so, for us, we've gotten to where we also have an exit interview with our clients. Really, we want to know, okay, what can we do better? And we're starting to do that more and more, where it's like, we want to know what we could improve on, what were your pains, what were your successes, how can we just kind of grow for the next person? And to us, it's really like understanding all of that and growing as a firm so that the next project is even more successful than the last.
So is a good portion of your projects currently in the Texas area, or do you do projects outside of Texas?
We've done projects outside of Texas. We currently only have one that's in Vail at the moment, but most of the projects are in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex.
Tell us a little bit about your current projects that you're working on.
At the moment, we're more furniture heavy. I feel like we always kind of go through this cycle of construction versus furniture. But most of our projects that we're working on are kind of start to finish. So what we're doing is we're doing all of the interiors, whether it's a remodel or a full construction. And then we're also doing the furniture at the same aspect during that. We always push to order furniture right when construction starts so that we're not having to worry about lead times or the pain for our clients. But most of our projects are, I would say right now we're in full renovation. Most of our stuff is full renovation at the moment, where we're kind of touching every aspect of the house, from architecture to interiors, and then also all the furniture as well. So
do you feel that design-wise and creativity-wise that you take risk and challenges besides starting a business and moving to a new state and all those other aspects, design-wise?
I feel like we always do. We're always trying to figure out how we can better ourselves. We did Kips Bay, Dallas 2 years ago. And that was a huge design risk for us, just financially, but also, kind of opening up to the possibilities and getting more national press. And so that was kind of a huge risk. And I feel like, we continue to try to push ourselves all the time to, get better and to try new things.
Yeah, we're definitely not the type of, we listen to our clients, but we also kind of push them a little bit out of their comfort zone, because from what we hear, we were saying like, okay, you said this, so we think you were wanting this. And a lot of times they'll say, oh, I never thought of that, but it's perfect. And that's kind of our goal each time, is to surprise them just a little bit, but it's exactly what they want.
Yeah, we had one, for example, that we just finished, I guess, back in May. But that was probably a 2.5-year project. But, the clients hired us because we had a good relationship with the real estate agent. And she knew she kind of had she had a challenge with the house. It was a house that was an old ranch that had multiple layers of additions, right? And so she was like, I would love if you could do a floor plan for us that maybe we could promote to sell for the house. Well, the homeowner that ended up buying it loved what we came up with. Obviously, we didn't do anything what we showed for the agent, but the client didn't want to spend very much. And at the end of the day, I was like, I hate to say it, but everything that you're telling me is not what we should be doing. We should be doing this. And it really, what it boiled down to is we took a project that they wanted to spend a little amount and tearing down almost the whole thing and rebuilding. So keeping a portion of it, but raising the roof or the ceiling to, kind of give more of a contemporary flair to it. But yeah, I mean, it's to us, it's really about listening and then guiding them on, hey, what I'm hearing is this, and that's not what you're really saying. So
right. So what motivate and inspires both of you being in this industry?
I think for us, it always is relationship. I mean, I get excited of, understanding a client and how they live and function in a space, or how they want to function, or who they want to be within that space. And then designing for them. So I feel like it's always based on the client, because they always have a different taste level.
Though our process is this pretty much exact same every single time, the answers and what they give back to us kind of take us down a different path every single time. So it keeps it interesting. I think not only with the relationships with the client, but also the relationships within the community, from other designers to vendors to builders. Those are the kind of relationships that we really like to create. And it's always a genuine idea, but you just never know who you're going to meet and when they're going to come back, or if they're, but at that moment we got to meet a lot of people over the short time that we've been here for like 7 years, but it's now we're entrenched in the community. We help out other designers when needed.
We ask for help.
We ask for help a lot
when needed.
So, not to hark on challenges, but can you highlight a project that challenged you creatively and how you overcame that challenge?
Yeah, I mean, we have one right now that I wouldn't say it's a problem, but I think it's been an amazing challenge for us and has pushed us outside of our comfort zone quite a bit. But the client loves design and has hired us to help her navigate the waters. And she's had her house for 20 years, and we fully renovated the entire thing. But it really wasn't a challenge, more so than it was a collaboration between the two of us. And I think, for the most part, well, it has turned out very successful, but for the most part, there's been pushback from her, saying, oh, I don't think this is quite right. And I think I love that aspect of it, right? I love the idea of our clients loving design and wanting to be a part of it. And I think that that's what's really fun about interior design, especially in the residential sector, is, we're really collaborating wholeheartedly with our clients. We have occasional clients where they're like, just do it. We love your aesthetic. And those are fun too. But I like the ones where it's more us building something together. That pushes us to think outside the box sometimes, that what we might not do, and push them as well.
The fun part is when they ask those questions, we always have a reason behind a design decision. Mm-hmm. So they go, oh, well, why did you do that? Or why this fabric? And it's, or whatever it is, it's like, then Bryan's like, well, I did this, this, and this. Also, they'll be like, oh, I thought of that too, but what about if we did it here on the banquette? And that's when he'll go, oh, I thought of that, but that side of the design, if we adjust it, it's going to affect over here on the left in the kitchen area. And they're like, oh, I didn't think about that. So, we tend to show them one floor plan, but during the design, we've gone through about 5 at least, if not more. So it's a lot of fun to see them. I think we build a lot of trust with our clients through that, talking them through, educating them on the process, but also the decisions we're making have reason behind them. And with that, we're not just showing them expensive stuff, we're showing them saving opportunities, trying to keep the design intent. In the end, usually they go back to the original design because that's exactly what they wanted. But showing them there's other options that, they could save money. We're not just here to spend it. We're here to really give them a design that they love and that they always wanted. That's functional and aesthetically pleasing.
What are some of the regional differences that you've really seen moving from New York to Texas? It's like people in Texas do not go for this, or vice versa, that people in New York would not go for something that you actually is locally incentive to design in Texas.
Yeah, I think that's always an interesting conversation, especially, I would say right now, most of our clients are transplants. So we're kind of on a different thought at the moment. But I think just in general, we weren't accustomed to, a site finish cabinet, and in Texas they are. And so, for us, it's been like, well, okay, let me educate you on why we don't do that, why we believe it this way. And so, kind of taking some of those little, things that are very relevant here and kind of understand, or telling our client and having them understand, okay, well, here's why we don't really believe that, here's why we believe in doing this. And it goes back to that education process that I think to me is really important. I also think a little bit of a difference between a New York client versus here is a New York client's really already done their research as far as, okay, I love this appliance. I love this brand. Boom, boom, boom. This is what I want. Now help me to achieve that. They're already very aware of that. Whereas here, I think that they might not be as aware of the different brands of appliances or the different brands of furniture, or why one costs one way and one costs the other. So it really is, okay, well, what's right for you? And let's show you.
And we get to, I take them on little field trips, and we actually get them to interact. And that's where our vendor partnerships come in. We have one vendor that was a personal chef, so he's cooked on everything, and each appliance has their own kind of benefit. And depending on how our clients like to cook or not cook at all, what is their intent in the kitchen, and through that we can kind of talk them through, show them, let them cook on the equipment, and they kind of get to decide themselves. In the end, we're really that guide, that tool for them to show them the options in the realm that they're wanting to be in, whether it's price point or function or aesthetic, and then let them decide, and with the reasoning behind that to make sure that there is an underlying Yates lens to everything and aesthetic that's very tailored. Everything lines up, everything's sophisticated, but it's always with the flair of the client. That's why if you were to see our work, it's very, it doesn't all look the same.
Is there any particular project that you can think of in the past 7 years, like, we want more of these, and we'll never do this again?
The more of these ones?
We have one right now where we're doing kind of I would say a light construction, but the house is almost 19,000 square feet. And we've been very fortunate on the client loves, amazing brands. And so we've been able to inject a lot of things that, are kind of a tether on my past. And I feel like we're starting to get those clients more and more. That to me is really exciting.
Yeah. I think for me, it's the ones that the client not immediately, but once they get into that trust, there's times when they'll say, the builder will ask them a question, and we're like, well, we got to call Yates.
Yeah.
I don't know. We got to call Yates.
Yeah. We have one project that the homeowners have been absolutely amazing and completely trust us. We presented the design. They made 0 changes to the design or the furniture that we're doing for the entire house. And then the homeowners like, I just love y'all. I completely trust you guys, and has not been on the project at all since construction.
Yeah,
those are the dream projects.
Yeah,
she's gonna get that wow walk-in factor.
Yeah, right. So we'd love more of those. I feel like I love it when a client really comes to us and says, I value what you're doing. I want you to take over and to show us what it could be and make no changes. But those are far and few between.
Yeah, true. It's a lot of trust and pressure for us, but we kind of love that. And it's like, thanks for trusting us. We're going to do amazing work for you or with you.
Are there some current interior design elements that you find particularly interesting and exciting that you like to work with?
Good too.
Yeah, I mean, we always like to kind of think, what's kind of new and next. We love playing and manipulating with stone, and I don't know, we've been doing that a lot lately that are all in our new projects.
You're mixing a lot of finishes and
we love to mix new and vintage and create something that isn't necessarily just all contemporary. For instance, with the project that I was just talking about, our clients have kind of a traditional house, but yet they're not traditional at all. And so we're kind of enveloping all the furniture in a very contemporary way, but still has a nod to the house. And so I feel like, what excites me is kind of playing with the unexpected and trying new things. We're doing that right now for our office. What is something that, we want to kind of push the limit on that maybe we haven't been able to do? I feel like Kips Bay was really kind of monumental in helping us or letting us do that and pushing us, to what we love and what we would love to kind of showcase. And right now we have a new office space that we're working on that we're doing the same thing on, and very excited about that.
So would you do another show house?
100%.
Kips Bay? Yeah?
I would.
Absolutely.
I know it's a crazy short timing, but there's something just beautiful about the camaraderie in the house and getting to know the designers that are all going through the same thing you are. Getting to kind of push yourself outside your comfort zone. And what's kind of amazing is, as designers, the longer you have to think about something, the more that you second guess yourself. And I kind of love the idea that we had 10 weeks from start to finish to create a space. And for that was very exciting. I absolutely loved every second of it.
Blood, sweat, and tears and all.
There was a lot of tears. There was a lot of tears, but we walked away with so much friendship with other designers throughout the nation, and it's just, I would do it again in a heartbeat. He probably wouldn't like it, being the financial guy.
We'll do it again. I'm just like, just give me a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So if someone came to you and you say, I want the most drastic change, but it's only one element, be it lighting, be it paint color, be it artwork, what would you guide them to say to do this one item?
Lighting for sure. We love lighting. Mike actually has a master's in theatrical lighting, like stage lighting. So I feel like, we kind of try to inject that into projects that we're working on now. I know it doesn't come cheap, but lighting is the icing. I think it's everything. Make or break.
You can buy a home that is having trouble selling, and probably get a really good price on it. Just go in and change the lighting and probably sell it for more than what you purchased within like a month. It's so important. I always kind of go back to my dance days where you see a wonderful dance piece and you're kind of just walking out like, I don't know, that was good, but the lighting kind of ruined it. And then I've seen other pieces where I was like, wow, that was amazing. But then if you really think about it, it was like, I was focusing on the lighting mostly, And so we really try to bring that to the forefront with our clients in the beginning, and incorporate lighting and lighting design into it early on, because you're going to build this beautiful space and then you're going to turn on lights and you're going to be like, like, let's invest into making it gorgeous.
And it's not inexpensive at all. And so it needs to be one of those line items that are important up front.
Don't just throw cans in the ceiling, because that's what everybody does.
How's my lighting today? No.
That's great. Yeah.
So what's next for Yates Desygn? What do you have coming up?
At the moment we're just more focused on our office. We do have a wallpaper line with Ever Atelier that has been exciting. That launched in January, so it's still kind of a new baby.
I think we did connect with a new PR team, so we're going a little dormant for the end of the year, and then the idea is to come out kind of with, I wouldn't say like a new look. It's more of like just like a
refresh.
A refresh. We're not new anymore to the business. We've been here a while. We're established in the community, and we're excited to just kind of get out there and help remind people.
But we are interested in furniture and lighting, and we do a lot of custom pieces for our clients, and we hope one day to have a collaboration.
I'm actually excited to get into like chandelier design in a way. I feel like there's beautiful stuff out there that just could be lit a little better and make it even more gorgeous.
And you touched on something lightly, Bryan, about collaboration. Collaboration is always a integral part of design, because you work with architects, you work with engineers, so on and so forth. Do you work with other designers or other creatives in some of your projects?
I wouldn't say other designers. I would say, we always will collaborate, even with a lighting designer or, the architect. The builder is huge for us. We want to always present ourselves as a team, and give them all the information that is needed up front. Our firm kind of operates a little bit like an architecture firm, even though we do not do architecture. But our drawings are as specific as what you see with an architecture firm. All the details, all the elevations, all the specifications, we believe in all of those being done up front before any construction starts, so that, we can hand a nice construction document set to our builder for them to price everything out. And I think that that's been a huge way for us to collaborate with them, is to set that expectation of what we're wanting to do for our clients. And then us all being together on that, and working hard. But, our team always jokes that we always say that everyone's an extension of our team, but it's really true. There's so many moving parts when it comes to interior design, architecture, landscape architecture, that it's not just, building a home. It's not just one person, doing it. It's kind of, us trying to, conduct the orchestra and all the moving parts. And, we're here to really collaborate and to be a part of that.
And bring the best team in for our client, and like knowing our client so well, okay, we're going to work with this person because specifically they connect on that point. I will say with other creatives, with the wallpaper company, we collaborated 100% on that. We work with artists from pottery to art itself, to metalwork. We're doing a piece to kind of enhance a chest and make kind of a stand for it, but in a very artistic way. other pieces like that. So lighting, we have created custom lighting pieces, custom furniture pieces, working with the wood people and the stone together to kind of create like a fun new piece, and each person kind of puts in their own craft and quality. And that's what we kind of love. Like, here's our thought, here's our design. What do you want to bring to the table to like really enhance that? I mean, the last time we did a 2 credenzas for a client, and the designer suggested like, what if we use mahogany wood? And it turned out gorgeous. Like, I would have never thought to do that. So
I think for us, we're always open to suggestions. We always want to design it exactly the way that is in our head and how we think it should be constructed. But at the end of the day, it's developing a team that, is good at their craft, and being able to listen and collaborate on that, I think always creates a successful product or piece.
Is there a project that you can think of that had a strong influence on you as a creative? Past, present?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had one that I feel we were working on a project in Highland Park, and I don't think I'll ever forget this project just because we had to really be creative. The clients had a good budget. We worked really hard. But no one saw this coming. So the house had an extension from, I guess, the previous homeowner. And the idea was, how can we open this up? It was kind of it was kind of a Spanish Mediterranean project. And the clients wanted to kind of bring that in, but maybe a little bit more contemporary twist to it. And during demo, we found out that the new addition that was added onto the house was actually added on without any foundation. It was on pavers.
Brick pavers.
Wow.
Brick pavers.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it was still standing, to be honest.
Yeah.
And, even though, you price it out, clients sign off on what they're willing to spend on it. That was just one of those unforeseen circumstances that we really had to be creative and think outside the box and still give them exactly what they were hoping to get, right? It was injecting that, we call it ugly money into the house that you're not going to see.
Right.
And so for us, that was one of those things that we really took a problem, came up with a solution, and did the best we possibly could to give them exactly the overall design that we were originally selling to them. And we did it, and it was hard. And But
it was worth it.
Yeah, and I think
they call us the A team all the time.
Yeah, but I think that is a good example of what excites us. Is we're here to problem solve, but also work to really help the client get a product that we all want and the quality that they want.
And again,
so for the listener that's out there, so like, okay, how was that resolved?
So we had to pour foundation and tie into the house, and it costs a lot more than was expected, and
But we were able to go back to just some slight adjustments with selections, partnering with our vendors. This is the look we're going for, what's out there.
Yep.
Some of the stone, was very close to what we wanted. Like, they had remnant that just so happened worked, that would save thousands of dollars, and each line item by line item going through and saving $100, saving $1,000, really brought the price down. We got lucky with a city code change, which, that was helpful with a budget number that came in lower than what we were expecting. So in the end, it's really just using that creativeness and working with the builder. How can we do this in a different way that, can save money? And the client was open to options.
Yep. And it's still one of my favorite kitchens that we did.
Really? So starting your business, is there a certain goal that you're trying to achieve each year? Be it a project or be it new ventures? Yeah,
I think for us, we're really goal oriented, and the first of the year, we kind of always sit down and say, okay, well, what is it for this year that we're going to do and try to meet? I think for us, it is kind of more ventures with vendors to collaborate on, us starting the wallpaper. We'd love to keep going and doing other lines with other people. But really, just kind of elevating, the projects that we're working on here in Dallas and try to get more that are out of state.
Yeah. One of my goals is always to at least meet new people in some way. I think my goal this year was to at least connect with a new builder, and we're now working with 2 new builders this year, so it's kind of like that's great. So we'll just kind of see what happens next. We have 2 weeks off at the end of the year for our team, and that's when we'll probably use that to move into our office, honestly, this year. But that's when we'll sit down together outside the office. We'll go somewhere and then just kind of charrette and kind of
game plan next year.
Game plan some lofty goals. There's finances in there, but it's really more about like what drives us, like you said, for the next year.
So being creatives in your own personal space, do you switch it out consistently? Are you one of those designers like you go?
It's his all the time. It's not all the time.
Melting pot. It's like his science lab. Really, he's always like, "Oh, what about this?" and changing that. It would take us a chair and new fabric, or it's always like, "Oh, what if we did wallpaper on the ceiling in this thing?" That was the thing. But he's always tinkering. So, but that's kind of fun. I mean, I remember when we first started dating, and we moved in together. I would, like you said, I travel a lot with the dance companies. Every time I left and I come back home, something was different.
Do I live here?
Yeah, I was like, oh, we have a glitter llama head now.
It's fun to play. I think your home's always, your laboratory. So why not kind of adjust? And we don't do it too often. I think we are focused way more on clients nowadays, that we don't cater towards ourselves very often. But yeah.
I think you have to have fun with whatever it is you do in the end, right?
Yeah.
It's interior design. We get to know our clients very well, and really, have to laugh, have to have a good time. Even in the stressful points, like the answer is, hey, this is happening right now. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. And a lot of times we'll come to them with the problem and already a couple solutions. But we're here to have a great time and create some beautiful work together.
Yeah. It's all about having fun.
Yeah.
True. How many projects
we work hard. We work hard, but it really is all about having fun.
True. You got to enjoy what you do each day.
Yeah. Otherwise, we'd go crazy.
I dance a lot try to make people laugh a little bit.
So how do you balance? I mean, it's hard being a creative because your brain's on this side. So being 2 partners and married and working together, how do you balance the quiet time for each of you individually?
Well, I go on my bowling trips, so I'm a pretty avid bowler, but I go out and have fun. It's my little Zen meditation moment. But also we need a time apart. The absence makes the heart grow fonder. But, that's what I do. I just have a great time and just get away from it a little bit. I mean, I go about
travel
once a quarter at least.
Drink.
In the end, working together is very much separation, church and state, finance, management, and then design. So. Yeah, it's made that very easily, not my circus, not my monkey. That's somebody else.
And we have a rule. We'll go to dinner together and we don't talk about work. So, or when we come home, we don't want to talk about work. It's about, each other and something other than the office.
Yeah,
that's a good
It is
rule.
difficult. I mean.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, everyone says, how do you manage the work-life balance? And I just feel like it's life, I love what I do. I don't think I could do anything else. So to me, it's all one and the same. We work hard, but we play hard too. So
the work helps to play and the play helps to work.
Yeah. And we have really amazing clients. Like our clients aren't the type that will call us on vacation and need an answer. I think that goes back to our processes. We're very upfront and set the expectation of how we work and how we're going to work on the project. And, our clients are very respectful in that instance. And so we do have the ability to go for a long weekend and not have to worry about emails or the clients calling and, the drama of needing something right away.
And that's also with our amazing team that we have.
Yeah.
Everybody's involved in the project. So we can step away for a bit and clients are comfortable with reaching out to them for questions as we're gone. We have a wonderful team and we love working.
And our clients know it's not just us. It's really a collective of the 5 of us. We're all 5 of us are working hands on the project, and our clients are very comfortable knowing that they could reach out to any one of our employees and ask a question and know that it's the right solution, that, I'm not necessarily always the bottleneck of needing to make that decision. I have every hand in all of the design, but so does the rest of our team.
How many projects do you have on the books at the moment that you're working on?
I think we have 18, 20 at the moment.
That's a full load at all various stages?
Yeah.
Yep. Some are getting ready to wrap up. Some are waiting for furniture. Some are, getting ready for furniture orders, or some are getting ready for construction. So, it's just kind of all over the place. But we enjoy it.
So if you had to pick your top 5 projects that you've completed thus far, what would those be?
Man, that's a hard one. That's on the spot. I don't know. I feel like they're all so different.
Right.
I always connect with who did I like working with? There was Middleton and there was Florence. I don't know.
I feel like we're really proud of all of the projects that we have. This is such a sounds like a bullshit answer, but but they're all just different in their own right, and I almost associate it with the client. We have a couple clients right now that have texted saying, "Hey, we haven't seen you in forever. Let's grab dinner." Those are kind of my favorite, and those are the ones that I've absolutely loved. But I love designing kitchens. I love the full house, right? Don't get me wrong. But to me, my favorite projects are a handful of the kitchens that we've done over the years. But really, I think I'm super excited about the ones we have current. That we have one that's getting ready to get photographed that we've been working on forever, and then we have a couple of the other ones that they're just very different than what we've done in the past, and are almost elevated in what you see currently on our website. And I think that's what I'm most proud of is the continuous of growth that we've had from starting with, okay, we have almost our entire savings is almost gone. And, we need a project, and, to now we have a lot of amazing projects that, clients are reaching out to us. And so to me, I feel like that's what I'm most excited about at the moment is just that we've continually grown every single year that we've been in business.
Yeah.
You mentioned photographed. Is it going to be published?
We'll see.
Yeah. No, that's definitely an option.
Well, it is, and we're talking, but you never know. There's a lot of checkpoints that happen before publication. So.
Yeah, and a lot of restrictions as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So what advice would you give someone that's interested in this industry? And also, what's advice you would give someone that's already in the industry to take the leap of faith and do what you did?
I think my biggest advice, and one thing that I've learned recently is, we've gotten to know a lot of editors from shelter magazines lately. And one of the biggest advice that I would say is don't be shy in trying to get to know them. They're actually love it when people email them and ask questions. Yes, you might not be ready for, them to publish you, whether it's digital or print. But they're always willing to give advice and suggestions and help. And I feel like I wish I knew that earlier. So that would be my biggest advice to give to anybody. They're there for you.
Yeah, mine would be ask questions. So either if it's editors, other designers. I mean, if you can't get into a mastermind, create your own with some friends that are in that same realm with you.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody does it differently. We're happy to share what we do because you're going to have, as Bryan always says, we didn't invent the ice cream. We're just inventing our flavor for it. And we're happy to share how we do things because you're going to take it and make it your own, right? It's also not easy. So have fun. True. Helping out and asking questions. I mean, people are happy to share their stories. I mean, that's why we're here.
And where can someone find Yates Desygn?
You can find us on Instagram at Yates Desygn, and it's DESYGN.
That was a fun little story.
Yep.
Okay, well, share that story.
Okay, so our very first office was definitely the Starbucks in West Village. So not in New York, but in Dallas. And so we were sitting there trying to figure out what our name was going to be. And I said, it has to be simple, and you love your name. So it has to identify us, and it has to be simple. So like Yates Desygn, like it has to be that. But it has to be like with a twist, right? It has to have a little, like can't just be Yates Desygn. And right then and there, he ordered his drink and he goes, "My name's Bryan with a Y, Bryan." And I go, "Why not just design with a Y?" It has legs, Y design with a Y. Like
it was available.
It was available. we got the website. It actually worked out. So the only problem is when you have to tell people the address is the email address. Just have to spell it out. But
I know we should really buy the one with the I.
Yeah,
for the website.
And then they can point directly to the Y.
Yeah,
why?
Exactly.
Because it's the Y.
Yeah, we're like, why not?
Why not?
Exactly.
See, it has legs.
Does Mike have PR marketing background as well?
I do. Not like for my background, but I mean, with the dance world, we were always in charge of what did the posters look like and what's in the program and how relationship with presenters and creating those relationships there because they're going to call you back in every year or 2 years or 5 years. We're doing those dance, show those what are those conferences where you sit in your table and people like walk by you and you're like saying hi.
So what's next? What's next for you two and Yates?
I mean, I think we're really starting on working on collaborations with some of our vendors. We've internally started, designing our own, what could be a light fixture that we'd be interested in, or, maybe some of the furniture. So for us, that's kind of what we're focusing at the moment. Really in the forefront is getting our office done. I've been the problem. Is finishing designing that because we're, working on all of our client stuff. So trying to do that on the off time to get that going,
Right.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, I think our next steps are solidifying that we're here. And that starts with the office, and it's going to be like our office with Yates on the door, like the whole shebang.
Well, right now, the idea really is to kind of, bring kind of that show house aesthetic into our office. And so that's kind of where we're taking the new space here in Dallas. It's in the design district, 3,500 square feet. And we're really catering towards, how can we show our clients the details and the experience that we're injecting into their place. And so that's kind of one thing that we're really excited about now is, we're bringing in all of the vendors that we utilize and that we love and that we want to highlight in the space. And so we're kind of treating that space as like a show house.
Fantastic. Well, I look forward to coming to see it.
We're going to have a party when it's all done.
All right. Well, definitely let me know. We're not that far away.
Yeah. We love a good party.
That we do. We're known for our parties.
Hey, even better. As we wrap up, any closing comments or anything else you'd like to share with us?
No, we appreciate it. It's been lovely talking to you.
Yeah, a great opportunity. Feel free to give us a call if you're out there. We're happy to collaborate and meet new people.
Yeah. And our wallpaper is on our website as well.
Fantastic.
Which is just yatesdesign.com. And you can see all of our collection there that also tethers to Everall Atelier, where the wallpaper is purchasable through.
Well, gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, and thank you so much for taking the time today and joining us.
Thank you. This has been wonderful.
So
we'll chat soon. Thank you.